What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Goof. And lately, if you haven't noticed, there are a lot of leaks and announcements about the Switch successor that's coming from everyone but Nintendo. That's not good. And let me explain why that's not good. Why I think it's imperative that Nintendo go ahead and make some sort of announcement video or something, show an early glimpse of the hardware, just anything at this point. The reason Nintendo needs to go ahead and do this is because the rumors and whatnot, if any of it is untrue and people are taking it as gospel, that is to say, as fact, that it's completely factual, and it's not, and anything that's being quote unquote leaked, if none of it's true, it's setting expectations high. It's setting a lot of expectations. Everything we keep hearing could set expectations on a path that when Nintendo finally decides to, and let me explain, when they finally decide to, if it's too far out, it's going to cause more damage because they waited so long. People's expectations will be set. People will have this thing they're expecting to see, that there's expecting to be, and when Nintendo finally announces it, if any of this stuff is false, and what they announce is nothing like everybody thinks it's going to be, you could see people end up being very disappointed. And so disappointed you could see, and I know how the human mind works. I understand the human condition, and I understand that some people go, well, if that's not what it's actually going to be, if none of that was true, I don't really like this. I was expecting this. I don't want it. Sales could suffer. People's wanting to buy this could suffer. It could cause brand damage. The longer they wait, the worse. And for those who don't know, or don't remember, I should say, when the original Switch was announced, they literally had some kind of a, I think the video that they had about the Switch, the first little trailer video that they had, because I think they had a couple of little trailers, but they had one small one, and I believe it was the one where the guy was with his dog or whatever. He was just by himself. It wasn't very big, wasn't very elaborate. And that whole trailer happened in January. It's January. That was January 2017. This is January. I feel like they need to go ahead and not do a full reveal. I'm not talking about a full reveal, but just a hint and a name. Give people a name. Don't talk about the features or anything. Just kind of show them a glimpse and a name. So they can see what it looks like officially and whatnot. That way we stop getting a lot of false expectations happening. Because if any of this stuff isn't true, and God, I don't know, the way it persists, it might be true. But if it's not true and what Nintendo actually has planned is nothing like what they say, that's going to cause some damage. It can very much cause some damage, especially in the U.S. People in the U.S. are pretty fickle. So here's my thing. Well, actually, I just realized something. In 2017, there wasn't a new president being, or well, I shouldn't say new, but we didn't have a president being sworn in. I think this month we'll have a president sworn in, and oh God, I don't even want to go over that whole mess. But we have a president being sworn in, and we didn't in 2017. In 2017, it was, there was already a president sworn in because they were sworn in 2016. So there is the possibility that Nintendo is waiting for that to be over before they do anything like this. So, hell, maybe if they do this, it could be next month. And then, of course, there's the rumors. There's the rumors that are saying that it's going to be released in April, shown off in March. I don't know if any of that's a good idea. I don't really know. Like I said, if any of what's leaked, quote unquote leaked, is not true, is not real, if any of it's completely false, if it's bollocks, okay, it could cause damage. And I don't think Nintendo realizes that the longer that they sit on this stuff, the more problems it can cause. I don't see why they haven't done at least something small. At least show the device, just be like, show a glimpse of it. That way people can go, oh, that's what it looks like. Oh, so you know what? I don't know. Maybe they're in a tight spot. Maybe they didn't expect all this to happen. Or here's a theory. Here's a theory for you. A game theory, technically. Maybe they were aware of all the leaks. Maybe they kind of wanted it. Whatever reason, they wanted it to happen. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anything publicly where they're going after these companies. I haven't seen Nintendo go after not one of these companies. Maybe in the background they're just going, everybody's seen everything now. Let's just not say anything. We'll wait and we'll just give a proper announcement and talk about all the features. The only feature we know of so far is that your accounts will carry over, that you can still use your what was it called? Your Switch Online account, and that it'll be backwards compatible with everything, pretty much. I think they said physically and digitally, which is interesting to me. I had a theory at one point that what if development for games is not going to be any different? What if it's literally just that mid-gen refresh we were hearing of, and they just decided to make that the new console? I don't know. It sucks just not knowing. I think that's what frustrates people the most. People want to know stuff. They're willing to jump on anything. They're willing to hello. They're willing to jump on anything. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if it's good to take everything we hear as gospel. I think it's bad. But it's even worse, I think, that Nintendo has waited this long. I think I think the first mistake Nintendo made was thinking that the Switch would last 10 years. It isn't going to last 10 years. It's not. Now, they might keep selling the original Switch for another couple of years, thus saying, oh, yeah, it had a 10-year lifespan. But honestly, I think after about 6 years, they should have had new hardware out. I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that anything that's been announced is completely true. We don't know. We don't know. I don't like when people take it as fact. I hate when people do that. I hate when people see the rumors and they go, the Nintendo's going to have this, their next console's going to have this, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. I know it is. I mean, they said it was going to. It's going to. No. You don't know anything. No one actually knows a goddamn thing until Nintendo comes out and says, "Hey, this is the new hardware. This is what it does." And then they're not going to tell you what's inside the hardware and whatnot. They're not going to say anything. But I can guarantee you that once it gets into people's hands, they're going to tear it down. They're going to look inside. They're going to see exactly what's inside. And it'll be funny though if everything that was leaked ends up being true. That'll be funny. But again, I think we're at a point they need to go ahead, at least by next month. Next month should be when you show something, Nintendo. At least by next month. All right, January, February. You know. And then have your full reveal, let's see, January, February, March. So in March, have your full big reveal, your big thing where everybody shows up at a physical event where people are there. They show up, they get some hands-on with it and everything, that kind of thing. You know, go ahead and do that in March. So in April, give a little video. In March, give your full reveal. And then in April, release the bitch. Let's talk about the name for a second. I don't like Switch 2. That doesn't fit Nintendo's MO. That's kind of lazy. And I get that maybe they would be conscious after everything they struggled with the Wii U. I would get it if they just called it the Switch 2, but that's not how they function. I'm hoping, here's what I'm hoping. I don't really actually know, but me and a lot of people that I've talked to have said Super Nintendo Switch. They want that super moniker back. They want the super moniker back. It's partly nostalgia, but it would also just be really cool. I mean, right now we call it the Nintendo Switch, right? It's not called the Switch. I mean, some people would, but it's Nintendo Switch, right? So why not Super Nintendo Switch? I feel like it would be, I don't know. See, this is Nintendo we're talking about. That would be too cool for them. That would be too brilliant. They probably are going to play it safe and call it the Switch too. I wouldn't. Or maybe they'll come up with something stupid like the Switch Swap. Everyone, this is Switch Swap. Swap Switch. I don't know. I used to joke that because Sony always knocks off Nintendo, Nintendo was very secure with their patents of the Switch, but I was sure that Sony was going to come out with something like a PlayStation Swap that basically functioned the same way as a Switch, because of how they copied Nintendo throughout the years. I'm serious. Every time you would turn around, they would iterate on Nintendo. When the original PlayStation first came out, it didn't have analog sticks. The controller originally just looked like a Super Nintendo controller with some extra L and R buttons and grips. That was the original PlayStation controller. And then Nintendo 64 came out. It had the analog stick. And what did Sony do? Let's add 2 analog sticks and rumble, all built into one controller. Nintendo did this weird thing where they had rumble packs. Yeah, I know I'm doing the quotations a lot. But yeah, rumble packs. And you having to pop that in like that was just so terrible. And it's funny because I feel like the GameCube was iteration on the original PS1. It was. It had 2 analog sticks. It had the C stick and the regular stick on it, but they were both just analog sticks on the GameCube. So whenever they came out with that degum thing, it literally just kind of copied what PlayStation did before. So it's not like Nintendo hasn't copied other companies before. They have. I mean, the N64 had you putting memory cards and rumble packs and everything into the controllers themselves, and only having one stick. Sony was like, nah, the memory card goes into the console, and the rumble and analog sticks are built into the controllers. The first DualShock, which I miss that design so much. I mean, I feel like I'm not big on grips of any kind, but I feel like that was a better design than what we got with the PS4 and the PS5 controllers. I hate them. I hate those controllers. They remind me of ugly Xbox controllers. I don't even like the Xbox controllers. I hate them. But Nintendo does need to get on the... I go all over the place. I apologize. Nintendo, get on the ball. Show something. At least by next month. I think they will. January, February, March. January, February. So by next month, I would expect to see some kind of a video. My nose itches. I would expect a video of some kind, just kind of showing it, giving an idea of some features that might be coming, just something. And then giving a full-blown reveal right down to the nitty-gritty in April. In March, sorry. January, February. So February, do your trailer. January, February. And then March, do your full reveal. And then April, do your release. And that's probably what they're planning on doing. Give it a month to build the hype. But they need to do something soon. I think a lot of what we're seeing is getting ridiculous. Oh, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm almost to 1,000. And my nose is itching. Have a good one.